It's convoluted, like they said something
Supposed to remind you about a
like
parking
they can
pass,
actually prove.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. DeYoung.
Here.
Mr. Clement.
Present.
Mr. Moran.
Here.
Mr. Paradiso.
Here.
Mr. Janowicz.
Here.
Mr. Schilling is absent at the moment. Chief Flores
Here.
and Chief Leduc. Here. And Attorney Adam Decker.
Here.
Okay, I need a motion for the approval of minutes for February 22nd, 2021.
So moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Kmetz made motion, Steve DeYoung seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Monthly reports. Chief Ledoux.
In the month of February, we had a total patient contact of 110. Of those 110 patients. Sorry, I'll start again. In the month of February, we have a total patient contact of 110. Of those 110 patient contacts, 69 patients were ALS 1, 4 were ALS 2, and 14 were ALS or BLS. Of all those patients, 64% were residents, 36 were non-residents. Talking a little bit about hospitals we transport to. If you look real quickly, most of our transports go to Dyer, which is relatively close. And then at the very bottom of the paper that you'll be looking at, total dollar amount generated is $95,652, and total monies that we did receive is $53,557.80. Going on to a little bit about fires, fire calls by district. We had a total of 149 incidents. Of those incidents, 2 of them were in the Crown Point town part of town. 4 were in the Dyer part of town. 114 were in the standard St. John town of, and 2 were in Cedar Lake inside town. 17 were in the unincorporated parts of town that we cover, and then 10 were mutual aid. And then finally, I included 2 other documents this month. Probably won't do this every month, but just so to kind of go back on what Mr. Clements asked me last month. One, the next document you should see, this kind of shows that our collection rate to year to date, or not year to date, since our biller has been there, is at 90.5%. And last but not least, the paper that you see with a total of $289,636 is our accounts receivable.
That it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chief Flores.
Okay, from February 1st, 2021 through February 28th, 2021, the members of the St. John Police Department logged 17,229 miles and responded to 497 law incidents. The investigation of these incidents led to 9 arrests, with 18 charges being filed. There were 79 traffic citations issued, along with 83 written warnings. for a total of 162 citations being issued during the month. Vehicle thefts totaled 0, other thefts totaled $323, and recovered property was 0. That's it.
Okay, new business, Chief Leduc.
You suppressing the button, my apologies. Just kind of going back to last month, I did submit the list for full-time staff, volunteer staff, and part-time staff with the addresses redacted. Those are in front of you for your approval. That's all the new business that I do have.
I know we did mention last month about possibly going to one just part-time staff versus both. I don't know if you made any ground with that or made any decisions as far as which way you wanted to go.
We are still pursuing that, but as of now, so you guys, as a matter of business, to have this done, that is where we want to go. Still working on that with the clerk treasurer's office and our town council. But it seems favorable from everyone's.
I guess first we'll ask for a motion for approval of the 2021 full-time list.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
I'll second.
Mr. Paradiso, motion, Rob Connett, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I need a motion for approval of the 2021 part-time list.
So moved.
Steve DeYoung made the motion.
I'll second it.
Ray Paradiso seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then a motion for the approval of the 2021 volunteer list.
I'll make that motion.
Pat Moran, second.
I'll second it.
Rob Connett, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Chief Flores.
I have no new business this month.
I have a question on all the problems lately with the car thieves and the break-ins and stuff and having to reassign personnel, basically. Do you have enough personnel to cover all this? I mean, you're gonna be getting spread pretty thin here. I went by, I think it was an accident the other day, and you had 3 police cars there, which you needed. That kind of leaves you short-handed, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, it does. We still are trying to get it the best that we can. There's 3 per shift, which even anymore, that's not enough sometimes. There are times where we're still running with 2, depending on if somebody calls off or if there's vacation or training. But for us to get at least a minimum of 3 every shift, I would need probably 3 more officers, maybe 4. And yes, the town is getting bigger. According to the FBI standards, the way that they look at it, our department should be about 40 officers. We're at 23. So we definitely could use more officers just based upon the geographic of the town itself and how big it is and how much, road we have to cover. And again, like you said, an accident, or you get a bad accident, even if there's 3 officers working, that could tie them up for an hour and a half, depending on the situation.
Right. And I ask one, because as they keep annexing, the town's expanding, you've got a long way to go back and forth.
That's correct.
And other towns help in. What the problem is they're a long way off too, or they're busy. And I'm just kind of looking at somehow maybe getting your department increased manpower-wise to not only make it better for the citizens of your patrol, but safer for all the personnel.
Right. I couldn't agree more. And if there's a way we can, bring our numbers up to alleviate some of that would be fantastic. Because again, we are stretched thin sometimes, especially if we only have a couple of officers out. It's hard to be kind of proactive at that point because, you're pretty much kind of in response mode at that point. Because if you try to be proactive and you get an arrest or something, you're down for a couple hours, that's leaving one guy covering the whole town for 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
Which that's obviously not safe.
I just wanted to bring it up. I do think not everybody is aware of that situation, and I think it needs to be somehow amended.
I appreciate that.
But you look for grants and stuff out there. Are there any?
Yeah, but they're very limited sometimes as far as the cops grants go. There are available. We did hire an officer on the cops grant, several years ago. But like I said, it's few and far between when you see those. Sometimes a lot of those, are the military veteran grants, which we did with the one officer, so. But yeah, we definitely keep an eye out for those.
Anybody else?
I just want to say, have you been told you're not able to hire this budget term, or?
This year, no. I was told maybe one next year. If not, it'll be the following year. So 2023, I might get one. So,
I know you had mentioned before, Chief, about working with the task force with the sheriff's department as far as some of the area crime that was going on. Does that, is that included in your on staffing, or is that an additional?
no, that's additional. Yeah, that's the additional manpower that we put out, at certain times.
Okay.
So they did increase my overtime budget, which is good because we were at like $5,000 for the year, which is pretty low. So and they increased that to 15,000. So they gave me an extra 10. So I'm using every penny of that I can to put extra manpower out and trying to spread it out through the entire year. So usually it's, a couple days every month where we put two extra officers out, for anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. And sometimes we switch it up as far as how many hours are out and what days they're out, so, but yes, we're trying to spread that throughout the rest of the year.
Okay, no public comment, and motion to adjourn.
Second. Or I make a motion to adjourn. I'll second it.
Rob, can I have second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, meeting's adjourned.